All right, so we're continuing here. Today is what? I don't even know. April 12th? It's taking a long time, huh? Anyway, so I don't know if I did show you this. All right, so what I ended up doing is I ended up cutting the pipe there. Ground it up a little bit so I don't have any metal shards, any flash, as they would call it. As you know, I guess good enough. And then here's the hose. So what I did is I went out and I bought myself a pre-made pipe. It came with fittings on it already, but what I did was I cut it off right there. Anyway, I cut the pipe. What I'm gonna do is and then I installed the original fitting here because this wasn't cross-threaded. It was just a real pain in the ass to remove. I don't know why on this year 4runner. I don't even know if the other ones have similar issues, but for sure on this year 4runner, this is the second one I removed, and these were pain to remove. It felt like something was wrong, and if you could see where I stripped the crap out of the head on it. I used vice grips to grip it. It does come off, and this is how I was able to salvage this. But I did make the mistake of cutting it from here initially because I thought it was cross-threading, and I just wanted to take this off, and I figured I'd deal with it later. So anyway, I went out. This is I believe this is 5/16. I believe this is 5/16 tubing. But I went out and bought the 5/16 tubing here. It was pre-made. It's just a pipe, and it has two fittings on it on either side. They both look like this, but they were smaller than what I needed. I couldn't find one that had both this part and the right pipe size at the place, so I just bought it, and I cut as close as I could to the flare. So this is the flare, and I cut as close as I possibly could to it so I can slide this in. I don't think I'm gonna need all of this, but essentially what I'm gonna do is I'm going to fasten this in there, and then I'm going to put a high pressure fuel line rubber hose on the body here somewhere, wherever I decide to cut it. Clamp it down as tight as possible. I'm probably gonna do a bulb type flare on the end here, so it has a nice round head on the tip. And then I can clamp it twice. I'll clamp it twice because I don't even know, how well it's gonna hold. We'll find out when we get there. But I'm gonna put a bulb type flare at the end of this, and also a bulb type flare at the end of this thing. And I'm gonna use my little doohickey over there. I'll bring it right now in a minute. All right, so the pipe is installed here. I finally got it on there. It wasn't very difficult, actually. I did have to use the vice grips on this side, obviously, because it's real chewed up. And I just used a 19mm wrench to hold this in place. And well, since it's been at least removed one time, it wasn't so difficult to put back in. Just removing the first time was it just didn't feel natural. It felt wrong for it to come out with that much resistance. But anyway, so it's in now. It feels nice and snug. This pipe here has no play at all. Before it's completely seated, it has a little bit of play back and forth here, but because it's already completely seated now, no play. So now it would be cut this shorter and then use a fuel line to unite these two. So that's the next step here. So I went ahead and cut the pipe, put the new fuel line, put some fuel line fasteners on here. I put two because the pipe is actually pretty long here. You can make it out there about how long it goes. It's maybe like 2 inches or so. And then I put another one here. I flared the ends before I put this on there. So I just did a real quick bulb type flare to make it round, so it has a better grip and less likely to leak. And try it out in a minute. Alright, so it's all done now. It's the fuel's ready, the battery's in, the fluid is topped off for now, and everything's plugged in. So let's see her go. Running nice and smooth. Hey! Roly-poly. And a little high, but it hasn't started in a couple years, so. Hey, it's not doing bad at all. It's pretty good.
Sounds awesome.
Hell yeah. Roll down the window. Sorry. There you go, start it up. So now I just gotta do the brakes. We'll be getting her up and running. And running, driving around.